27 Digital Now Center. This is Beyond the Forecast with your most accurate local meteorologists.
Well, we say good morning, everybody. It is great to be with all of you here live once again as we kickstart the new year off on what I think will be a mild note. I am meteorologist Brett Thackara coming to you live from the Weather Center, and we are here talking about a rather cloudy start to the new year as we get back into the swing of things, right? Many of you back at work, back at school here on this Monday, and we anticipate that to be the case as we look ahead over the next several days. It is going to be cloudy, it is going to be gray, but the good news is it is going to be mild. Yes, indeed, and we're going to talk about a January thaw here coming up, and feel free to ask me any questions you may have. We're also going to look ahead. I do not see any big snowstorms in the forecast coming up anytime soon because of this thaw, but that doesn't mean that the pattern is necessarily going to go totally quiet. It is a cloudy start and effort of this morning as we check out Lancaster County. Yes, it is rather gray. It's rather bleak. And for those of you that are thinking, geez, here it is. We are in the new year, and we are, of course, dealing with the winter blahs. Don't worry about that because we do anticipate things to be better as we move ahead. There are a few flurries around this morning. A weak little wave is coming through right now that is producing perhaps just a few flakes in places like Schuylkill County, Mifflin County, Northern Dauphin County, Lebanon County. But these are not big flakes, and they are not going to really disturb the flow all that much. So don't worry too much about it. The clouds, though, are going to be the big story here this week, and we can see the temperature map. It is remaining cold. In fact, York was down to 18 degrees this morning. 26 right now in York, 26 in Lancaster, 25 in Lebanon, and 27 in Harrisburg. That is about where we started the day yesterday. But we were below normal, and we've been in this ice box, it seems like, since Thanksgiving, hasn't it? I mean, it just has been cold. That's all I hear about. And then people want the snow to go with it. We've had some snow. We've had some ice. The ski resorts have been able to make some snow, which is good news. But we continue to be just kind of waiting for maybe a bit of a breakout. And I think that's what we're going to get this week. A high of 39 here today, just shy of 40 degrees as we show you those clouds overhead in Kinzers. Yesterday we had a high of 33, well below the average of 39 degrees, and we had no rain. So we're starting the year off with a deficit, just like we ended last year with about a 4-inch deficit. And we can see we've got high pressure in control, but that's not really going to slow down the clouds much because we're going to see wave after wave come through. And this is sort of the first wave here that we're seeing swing by to the north. We're going to have another one come through tomorrow with maybe a sprinkle, but I do think by tomorrow it's going to warm up even more so than what it is now. So peaks of sunshine are possible here today, this afternoon. Tomorrow, I think, is rather cloudy. There comes the next wave with maybe a sprinkle or two across the northern tier as we move into Tuesday. And again, we don't expect any measurable rain here perhaps until the end of the week. And then looking ahead, Wednesday will be rather cloudy and gray, but dry. So again, I think the clouds play a big part in our forecast over the coming days, and temperatures will be in the 40s both Tuesday and Wednesday. But when we play out the rainfall here, notice not much, right? Just a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there. Joanne saying, ready for the warm-up. Yeah, I think a lot of us are, even though it is January, right? Many of us still wanting a big snowstorm, too. Maybe we can get both this winter. It'll be a little breezy at times this afternoon. It's not going to be a consistent breeze. And then the same thing tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of a southerly wind at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. But certainly Wednesday, to me, looks like the breeziest day this week with a bit of a northwest flow. But that's not going to cool us down any. And, in fact, we will stay in the 40s here on Wednesday, getting near 50 degrees. Beyond that, the weather, again, no big storms, but there will be some rain. By the end of the week, both Friday and Saturday look at least a little bit damp with scattered showers, maybe a half-inch of rain from that system, and then quiet again next week. If we get any storms, it looks to be more wet than white as we are on the warm side of this here for next week. So today, maybe a flurry. Tomorrow, maybe a sprinkle. Otherwise, we stay dry through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday, some scattered showers both days. Again, maybe up to a half-inch of rain with that. But here's the big thing that we're talking about, and that would be temperature-wise. Notice the peak here on Saturday, right? Look at that thaw that's going on starting tomorrow and into Thursday. We hit 50 degrees and then in the 50s. And even when we kind of see the temperatures jump back down, right? They level off, and it becomes seasonable right around 40 degrees. And that is where we should be. The normal high this time of year is 39. So today we will be right there. Partly sunny and seasonable, meaning more clouds than sun, but don't be surprised if we see a few peaks of sunshine. 30 degrees tonight with mostly cloudy skies, and then there's that January thaw as it looks on the 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the low 50s here by the end of the week with a few scattered showers Friday and Saturday. So let's talk a little bit more, as we do often like to go beyond the forecast here, and talk a little bit about the rain tomorrow. Let's see here, and I'm going to try to show you a model rendition of this. This would be the NAM model, and, at least as of right now, I'm not seeing much in the way of measurable rain. It looks more impressive than it is, but this is a similar path that this morning's wave is taking. Maybe just a couple of light showers or sprinkles during the day tomorrow. Most of the energy, as you can see here, and this spells it out nicely, is going to be to our north. So we'll mention the chance of a sprinkle and then just some clouds on Wednesday. Let's take you, though, to right now. We're going to show you the long-term temperature trend. And the reason I want to do that is let's talk about it as I knock over my mic here almost. Notice what we have going on with the temperatures peaking here. Now, this is the blend of models, which does a nice job of showing temperatures peaking in the mid to upper 50s. I think it's too warm. I think it's a little bit too warm here on the models for the end of the week. And then they level off, and you can see that on the blend. Now, let's go to the Euro, and let's see what the Euro says about this temperature spike. It actually, believe it or not, Saturday could get close to 60 degrees. The reason I'm holding off on going for 60 is because of the rain. We'll see if we can get there, but this has certainly, looking ahead into the next week of January, which is the farm show, by the way, it still has pretty mild temperatures, and I would tend to lean on the side of the Euro here. I think the blend's been too cold. So temperatures are likely to remain in the 40s and 50s heading into next week. I think maybe the Euro's a little too warm, but very seasonable. And I see no prolonged cold air. I see no big snowstorms coming. So make your January plans accordingly, at least over the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what the second half of the month brings. We're known for getting big snows in January and February, and if we get into the 19th and 20th without much happening, good luck as we move into the rest of the winter. We certainly had some window of opportunity in December with the cold air, and it lined up with one or two weaker storms, but certainly no big ones. And at least right now, the beginning of January is going to be too mild. So certainly as we look ahead, we will keep you posted on that. But right now, I would say it looks relatively benign here in the next 2 weeks for snowstorms. Sorry, just telling you like I see it. That is a look at the forecast. As we go beyond the forecast, we will continue to update this for you, and that includes following tomorrow's little wave as it pushes across northern parts of the state. In the meantime, welcome back to reality, everybody, on this first Monday of the new year. I'm meteorologist Brett Thackara. Thanks for tuning in. We'll do these daily. Appreciate it.